Are you guys ready for today's video? We're gonna reveal some products today that I bet you didn't know was actually bad for you and causing harm to your skin. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Another revealing products like Proactiv and why it is so bad for you. And I want to touch on black African soap and also baking soda. First, let's just talk about baking soda real fast. I feel like it's quick and easy to explain, not as long as Proactiv might take to explain because there's so much that goes into it. Let's talk about the natural pH of your skin. Your skin's pH is supposed to be at a 4.5 to a 5.5. When you mess up the natural balance of the pH, then you will overproduce oil and you'll dry your skin. So that's what baking soda kind of does. Baking soda has a pH of a 9. Big niner. When you mix baking soda and water, I like to call it a disincrustation solution. It opens up your pores and messes up the pH balance of your skin, so it makes your blackheads come out a lot easier. Sometimes I use baking soda before extractions, but you always have to remember to bring your face back to its natural pH with a toner. And if you're using baking soda, make sure you're being careful with it. You can't over dry your skin. Okay, next up, black African soap. There was this girl a while ago that exploded on Twitter because black African soap claimed to clear her skin, and she said use it for like 3 months or something and her face cleared up. I just wanted to say that, like I mentioned in my past videos about skin, is everybody's skin is different, obviously, duh, come on, you guys should know this already. But some people truly don't have acne, they just don't have a good skincare regimen. So when they finally just wash their face and get rid of that dirt and oil, then they're like, well, bam, I have clear skin. And most of us, it's something going on internally. Just washing our face with bar soap isn't going to fix our problems. So my problem with black African soap is when she was advertising it, and I just think that the brand it's like Shea brand. It's not the original one that's really black African soap. The true black African soap is not black, it's actually brown. When they are dyed and they're that dark black color that you find, it's not true African soap and it doesn't have the same benefits as the original one does. I just want to educate you guys about that. Light brown to deep black in color, but never a pure black. The reason black African soap does work for some people is because it has natural oils in there, which if you have dry skin it works because it doesn't dry your skin. If you have oily skin it works because guess what? If you give your skin oil, it won't produce as much oil, so you're kind of nourishing it in that way. Therefore, it helps with your acne because your skin doesn't produce oil, and oil causes clogged pores and acne to begin with. So when you give it that oil, it clears up your skin. Also has natural exfoliation in there because of the ash granules and other debris. So if you're going to buy black African soap, make sure it's the right one. Some people, it changes their life, and not everybody can be benefited from it. Wait, I forgot. I want to talk about St. Ives Apricot Scrub. This, you guys, I'm not gonna even front on you guys. I used to use this all the time back, I feel like it was freshman year, 8th grade year. I used to go through bottles of this stuff and I never realized actually what I was doing to my skin, and I wasn't helping it at all. I used to think, I'm gonna be real, that exfoliation was so good and it was helping, but when you actually have acne, doing a manual exfoliation is actually not that good for you unless it's super gentle, because St. Ives, the granules that are in there are actually almond shells. Or was it walnut? It's some kind of, I think it's almond shells. If you look under a microscope of these, I'm gonna call them shards, because they're not a perfect circle, they're actually jagged. And when you're massaging it into your face, whatever, you're actually creating like micro tears into your skin. And the reason why this is really bad is because, one, if you are breaking out and if you do have a pustule, say if I'm massaging it in there and then the jagged ends like cut into my infection, I'm gonna call it, because it really is an infection, and I'm moving it across on my other side of my face because I'm moving it around, and I'm bringing that bacteria over to this side of my face and everywhere, causing me to break out other areas. And you're creating scars for your face as well. So altogether, that product I think is a no-go. Like, don't stop. It should just
be discontinued and forgotten about forever.
This blog I'm reading about, this girl is talking about St. Ives. She also says that it rubs your skin raw, basically, and you're more prone to burning and getting sun damage. She literally explains each and every single ingredient and why it's irritating and or it clogs the pores. Anyway, so I will list this down in the description bar, so if you're interested you can read more about St. Ives apricot scrub, but I'm not going to get too into it. For the big finale, let's talk about Proactiv, guys. Are you excited? I'm not going to lie either. I use Proactiv, I want to say like 5th grade. I used it like a while ago when it first came out, and it did clear up my skin, and then I noticed that it stopped working like after a while, and I just noticed like I was more dry than I normally was, and I definitely got a lot more oily throughout the day. So I want to explain why the part on why Proactiv does work for a little while. You're creating like long-term damage, but we'll get into more of that later. But Proactiv does work because it has benzoyl peroxide in it, which is killing the bacteria that's causing your pimples. It does work on just killing the pimples that you do have. Proactiv claims that it stops them from creating more pimples. But benzoyl peroxide is just not a good acne killing medicine. That's their biggest thing. It has 2.5% strength in there, but when you're using it every day, twice a day, it does cause a little bit of a problem for you. And Proactiv specifically claims that avoid this medication into your eyes, inside your mouth, nose, or any areas of broken skin, since it may cause irritation. And acne is by definition compromised, broken, insensitive skin. Using that those harsh benzoyl peroxide using benzoyl peroxide is a harsh chemical and is not approved for broken skin. It does not in any way make the skin heal. She says not all acne is oily acne, which is true. Just because you have oily skin does not mean you have truly oily skin, and benzoyl peroxide works on drying out your skin, and many people who do suffer from acne actually have dry skin, and it's sad because these people who do have dry skin, who think they have oily skin and they start breaking out, they just use treatments like benzoyl peroxide, which just dries them out more, and their skin just starts to purge and goes crazy with oil. So they never see like the true underlining of their skin. That's why it's important to get a facial and to have a esthetician actually look at your skin, because they can see things that you might not be able to see. And what's really cool is we take your skin under a black light, and we call it a Woods lamp, and the color of your skin turns like differently under the black light, and we can really see if you're really truly oily or your skin is dried out. I definitely recommend getting a facial. Not just Proactiv, you have to watch out for benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide is found in other targeted acne products like Clean and Clear, Neutrogena, Clearasil. All those have benzoyl peroxide in it, so you have to watch out for that because it just won't help you. I recommend using willow bark, which is basically salicylic acid, but willow bark is just gonna kill that bacteria, but it's not going to dry out your skin. And another thing about benzoyl is long-term exposure. What I mentioned in my past video, that Proactiv actually sensitized your skin and makes your barrier compromised, and that just means your skin will be super sensitive with any products you put in your skin, basically, and will be sensitive to sun. You'll be more likely to get sun damage and dark spots, wrinkles, etc. Cancer. Literally, I had clients who have been on Proactiv previously, and they're like I had one girl who was a redhead, and redheads are fair skin, and their skin overall is just sensitive. So when you're throwing on Proactiv over that with benzoyl peroxide, it's just gonna dry out your skin even more and make her super sensitive. So now I've had to like slowly introduce her to other products that will help her skin and just repair her barrier, because it is just super sensitive. If you ever notice that you've been on Proactiv for a really long time and then you try putting anything else on your face, it just kind of stings a little and you turn red, that's because your skin is just so sensitive now. But I recommend, if you have been using Proactiv for a long time, if it's not working, then why even continue to use it? And you're just creating long-term issues for you and later on. I recommend using the Ultra Calming line from Dermalogica, or I know Rhonda Ellison has a few calming products. I know Dermalogica is really good for rosacea and like sensitive skin. The Ultra Calming line will really help you just repair your barrier and get you be able to use products later on. My instructor actually, she used Proactiv like all her life, and then she went to aesthetic school, and when they were trying to do facials on her, she would literally turn bright red. And so later on, when she wanted to target anti-aging stuff, like she wanted to use retinol, or she wanted to use like a lightener product to lighten her dark spots, she couldn't use any of that because her barrier was still compromised from Proactiv. So she had to slowly repair her barrier of her skin, and then she was able to use more targeting products. I would not recommend Proactiv for anybody. I know it's pretty affordable option and it works for some people, but you shouldn't be using that, because you literally use it morning and night, like twice a day in your regimen. And that's just kind of overdoing it. Like if you would maybe do it once a week, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend it for anybody. That's kind of all I want to touch on today. I hope this video was informational, like always. If you do like it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to know about any other products that you're skeptical about, maybe I can reassure you, or maybe I can just open up your eyes to something that you didn't realize before. But let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. You guys like my new hat? Ah!